Everyone, welcome to Bhadra IAS. My name is Akash Goswami and today we are discussing prelims strategy. I have myself cleared prelims 6 times. I have appeared for 5 UPSC interviews and I have cleared CAPF exam of UPSC and served in CRPF as assistant commandant for 2 years. So, based on my rich experience of 6 years, I am able to tell you guys why one will not clear prelims. So some of these things we will discuss in details. So one of the things is wrong focus. So we end up wasting a lot of time in unpredictable part. Later on I'll reveal what is this unpredictable part. Then second is we do less practice of mock test papers. So we will discuss that we need to practice at least 60 mock test paper in order to clear prelims. Then third mistake is ignoring PYQs, particularly in polity, economy, geography, history. Doing PYQ is very helpful. It makes us understand UPSC patterns, favorite topics, particularly polity and economy, which come very easy and repetitive concepts. So that is why it would be a mistake to not doing PYQs, previous year question papers of at least 15 years. Now, uh, as UPS aspirant, we focus a lot on reading a lot of content from various sources. We go to the market or from online. We purchase 2 3 sources of current affairs, 2 3 sources of history, polity, this and that, and this is a big problem. Reading more content and revising less is very dangerous in UPSC prelims. So this is also one of the biggest mistake that normally students do. Rather, we should be restricting ourselves to very less content, minimum level that is required for each subject, and then revising it multiple times. Multiple iterations matter more than reading more and more content on the same topic. Then certain mistakes that we might end up doing on the exam day. So these are 5 main factors which are responsible for one not clearing prelims. So I'll try to make students understand better where we have to focus so that the prelims phase of exam becomes very easy for us. So first thing, students focus a lot on unpredictable part. So I call polity, economy, and some portions of history and geography as predictable because questions in polity, economy, and certain portions of geography, history, they come from static GK, general studies, which is available in NCRTs or standard books like Lakshmikant, Spectrum, Rajiv Ahir, Modern History book. Such normal content which everybody is following, from that content the predictable part comes. It is also very much conceptual. If you understand polity and economy concept basic ones very well, then that's it. They are quite predictable. Similar questions come again and again on the same topic. Like there are many questions in previous years on inflation. It is one of the favorite topic of UPSC. Many times you will see different questions, but the topic will remain inflation. Sometimes they will link it with a repo or something. So this is the favorite topic. Similar things in political science also. So there is a lot of repetition, and that is why this part is known as predictable. So we should be focusing on this part. Based on data of 10 years prelims paper, I have seen that at least 40 questions come from predictable part. Out of 100, 40 come from predictable part and 60 come from unpredictable. So quantity wise, the 40 is less. Like predictable part, it is having just 40 questions, but here is one big advantage. Covering predictable part is very much easy. If you have done Lakshmikant once thoroughly, then polity is done, or even if NCRT, if you understand well, then you can solve 90% of polity questions. They are very easy, straightforward, just a check of your conceptual understanding. So covering this predictable part, this predictable 40 is very much easy, particularly polity and economy. Within these 40, we have 27 questions from polity and economy and 30 questions from history and geography. So these total easy 40 questions from these four subjects, polity, economy, history, geography, they are very much easy to cover. It takes less time. Questions come very easy in the exam, predictable, and that is why if we target this portion, we can clear prelims very much easily. At the same time, normally what happens is students do this mistake. They collect a lot of study material on unpredictable part. Unpredictable part means current affairs, environment, science and tech. You may read so many books on these topics and still question may not be solvable. Some portion in history or geography are also unpredictable, like economic geography, which is quite dynamic. In history, ancient, medieval, art and culture, they are also very much unpredictable or difficult to do some questions because they come from random books, some random facts, some term from some book, and it is difficult to cover those things. So unpredictable part is having two things: difficult questions and vastness. Current affairs you can do even for 3 years and still you may not get it. So that is why this portion is very much vast. You can collect a lot of material on this part and still you will not be able to solve the questions because they are difficult, unpredictable, random facts may come. People say out of syllabus. So that is why we need to focus on predictable part. It takes less time to cover and questions are easy. Both the factors, they are in our favor. So here is this analysis from 2011 to 2015 and then from 2016 to 2020. Overall, in these last 10 years, in predictable part, we have 40 questions. In unpredictable part, we have 60 questions. And over the year, we can see the proportion of predictable part is actually increasing. If we compare that to trend earlier from 2011 to 2015, the questions remained around 40. And now in 2020 we had 47 questions from predictable part. So we can see the proportion of predictable part is increasing and covering that predictable part is easy. So if we focus on predictable part, we can clear prelims easily. Predictable part includes all questions of polity, all questions of economy, half questions of history and half questions of geography. So total of this and half of this. So that is around 40 in last 10 years on an average. So if we focus on this 40, it will be very easy for us to clear prelims, or otherwise we may end up wasting a lot of time, energy, and in the exam it will be very difficult to solve the question and we may feel demotivated. Despite doing a lot of hard work, you will not be able to clear prelims because your path was wrong. So one should go on with prelims preparation smartly. One should be focusing on predictable part. This part I kept strong all the time and that made me clear prelims 6 times straight consecutively. The pattern of exam changed year after year, but as this thing is static and I made this part strong so that despite minor changes in pattern, I was able to clear the exam from 2015 to 2020. So our general strategy will include focusing on predictable part. Predictable part includes polity completely, economy, history, and geography. In history, it includes modern history mostly. Normally, questions from modern history they are factual, they are predictable, they are given in NCERT books or Spectrum book of modern history. So, normally, modern history is predictable. Exceptions may be there, but in general, in last 10 years, this has been the most easiest part in the history. Similarly, in geography, physical geography is the predictable one. If you do that blue NCERT of 11th class, the fundamentals of physical geography, if you do that well, 4 or 5 times you read that, understand that well, then you can manage these questions. So this is the predictable part. Unpredictable part involves science and tech, environment, current affairs, in general miscellaneous current affairs. Then ancient, medieval, and art and culture in history, that is unpredictable. That is why students go crazy for a lot of art and culture material, ancient, medieval material, and they end up wasting a lot of time on these things. Similarly, in economy, in geography, sorry, economic geography, that is agriculture, mineral resources, energy related questions, industries, steel industry, coal industry, all this portion is quite dynamic in recent years and it is difficult to cover this part. So this part is unpredictable. If we focus on this part, that would be a strategy for failure. It will not be smart at all. It will be like wasting a lot of time in covering something which we cannot cover and facing difficult questions in the exam and getting frustrated. If we focus on this part, polity, economy, some portions of history, geography, do PYQs for these portions as this is a static portion, questions are repeated, then we can easily crack the prelims. So this is our general strategy. We should be focusing on predictable portion. If one cracks this part, which is very easy from static, fairly predictable, then high chances of clearing prelims. So we can see from this table there is a direct correlation between accuracy in predictable part and success in prelims. This is based on my experience of 6 times of clearing prelims. Various students who feel frustrated they fail to clear prelims even in 3 and 4th attempts. So this table is based on those experiences and from that one can easily say that if you are able to do 26 questions correct out of these predictable 40, then you are having more than 90% chance of clearing prelims. If you do 31 questions correct out of these easy, simple, predictable 40, then 99% chances are there. Almost you have cleared prelims if you are doing for 31 questions correct in this easy portion. If you want to understand what is this predictable easy, then you can see last year's prelims paper. Within that you see polity, you see economy, and not just 2020. Any year 2019, 2018, these two subjects they are really easy. Only one should have good understanding of basics of polity and economy, either from NCERT classes, standard textbook. But if somebody's concepts are clear, irrespective of source in these two topics, then they can easily do 90% questions correct in these two subjects. And additionally, some questions of history and geography are also very much easy, doable, available in the basic standard books. And that is why if we cover these 40 questions, these predictable 40s very well, then we are almost there. So prelims seems tricky only for those students for whom focus is not on predictable part, but on the unpredictable part. They are busy in collecting a lot of study material on science and tech, environment, current affairs, this scheme, that scheme, international agreements, events, all those things. Plus history, within history, ancient, medieval, art and culture, reading same ancient history from 10 sources. So these things, if we do, we end up wasting a lot of time, and chances of clearing prelims also get slim. So that is why we should be focusing on this predictable 40. This is our easiest way to crack prelims and sit for mains exam. So based on this discussion, we can say there are certain to do things, non-negotiable things which we must do, like 60 mock test papers, because if we read a lot and revise a lot also, even then our knowledge will take us to 80-90 max. Only after the practice we'll be able to reach here, and this is what we need in order to clear prelims with ease. So these additional 10 to 30 marks, 40 marks, they come from practice, and this is must. Otherwise, we say clearing prelims is reading, studying, revising. So that is this plus luck. But if we practice a lot, then we can replace this luck part and easily clear prelims. This luck factor we can reduce by a lot of practice. The harder we work, the luckier we get. So that is why we need to practice at least 60 mock test papers in last 2-3 months. Then, as we discussed in polity, economy, geography, history, questions are repeated, concepts are repeated. There are certain patterns, favorite topics of UPSC. So if we do 15 years of PYQs, it will be very much beneficial for us. Particularly in economy, the concepts repeat themselves. If we do 15 years paper of economy and understand everything very well, then next year paper 90% we'll be able to solve. Certain questions from trend related to economic survey, budget, that we need to do separately. Otherwise, 90% questions will come from PYQs only. So this is the most important thing, doing 15 years of PYQs in polity, economy, geography, history, 60 mock test paper, then lot of revision of these PYQs, of these mock test papers, and the syllabus in general, the standard books, the NCRTs which we are reading. So whatever that we read, we must be revising that 6 to 8 times. The more the better. Then we should be reading current affairs from January 2020 to July 2021. So this is our to-do table, and this all is non-negotiable. We must do 60 mock test paper, 15 years of PYQs in polity, economy, geography, history, lots of revision and current affairs of this time window. Then there is a certain way of doing mock test in order to enhance our score, enhance our efficiency. So we should be attempting mock test papers in 90 minutes. In exam, we need to fill OMR also. Then UPSC questions are quite complex compared with coaching questions. Coaching material questions, test series, they are quite straightforward. No matter how hard they try, I have been working in the same thing. It is difficult to mimic a UPSC question, and it is also difficult to mimic the pressure of UPSC exam. And there we need additional time. So that is why one must practice a lot mock test papers and practice them in 90 minutes only. And always on pen and paper. Because let's say there is a question, there are 3 statements, and then there are options like 1 and 2, 2 and 3, 1 and 3, 1, 2, 3. Suppose this is wrong, statement 2 is wrong, so you can physically strike it and there is no confusion, there is clarity that this is the answer. Sometimes what happens, we know that 2 is certainly wrong and we are still checking if 1 is right or not, 3 is right or not, and this even doesn't matter because If 2 is wrong, then answer is C. That's it. So it saves our time. It saves confusion, and confusion is very much there in the exam when you are under a lot of pressure. So that is why practice mock test like the exam and always on pen and paper. Then after the paper, do the analysis, see the mistakes, silly mistakes, conceptual mistakes, something which we have wrong in our memory, all these things, and make 1 2 page short notes on these, and keep these short notes with you, and revise these notes in the last week of the exam. So this is how we should be attempting mock test papers. Then, as we are required to do at least 60 mock test papers, so we can do daily one mock daily in last 60 days, or alternatively in second last month daily one, so 30 will be over in 30 days. Then in last month daily two, so that in 15 days they will be over, and we'll have additional 15 days left to revise all these papers, PYQs, revising the syllabus, everything. And also we need to relax in last 2 3 days. We should not be doing any mock test papers or having some hard study, going book after book, nothing like that. We should be relaxing. Lightly we can flip pages, but no, not much focus, not any tension. We should be relaxing in last 2 3 days. So this is how we should be managing in last 2 months, in last 60 days, 60 mock test papers. They are must, non-negotiable. If you do less than these, then you make your chances slim. Then you make it luck factor thing. So if you want to remove that uncertainty factor, then you need to practice, and at least 60 mock test paper you should be practicing. So instead of your score hovering around 80 90, your score would be definitely more than 120. Out of my 6 attempts, in 5 attempts I scored more than 120, 130, 135, 142, like that, because of this practice only. Now on exam day, there are certain mistakes which we can do, and we should be avoiding these mistakes. So in exam we have 4 sets, A, B, C, D, and sometimes, let's say in B set, in initial one first to 25 questions, they are from agriculture, science and tech, environment, and very much dynamic. Unknown facts are there, and you are wasting a lot of time in reading and attempting these questions. So it doesn't matter which set you have, A, B, C, D. Find the polity and economy portion and attempt them first wherever they are. If you do that, you will gain a lot of confidence. You will be calm in the next phase of the exam if you do well in this portion. As we have discussed already, polity and economy, they are pillars of UPSC preparation, as they are very much easy in prelims and they are tough to write in mains. And very in-depth understanding of basic concepts is required. And that if we do prelims is very easy, and that is why we are supposed to attempt these two portions first in prelims paper. So first we have to find them. So last year in 2020, what happened with one of my friend? So he had, I think, B set, and in that set, the easy questions of polity were from 81 to 100, and they were very much easy. 2020 prelims paper was of polity was like directly from NCERT, class notes, Lakshmikant, whatever that you followed. If you understood well, then this was very much easy. But he wasted a lot of time in this portion, and he reached there in these easy 20 questions in last 10 to 15 minutes, as he didn't practice enough mocks also, that is why. So in last 10 15 minutes, these easy questions he did wrong, many of them, because he was in a lot of pressure. If he would have done the same 20 question in first 10 15 minutes, he would have get them all correct. But because of this pressure, he got many of them wrong, and that's why he missed by some 5 10 marks. We can say so only because of this mistake itself. So on the exam day, we should be finding polity and economy, and we should be attempting them first. And it is assumption that we have prepared them well. We have done PYQs, we have read basic books of Lakshmikant and NCRTs very well, and we know the basic concept quite clearly. And then we'll be easily like we're doing around 25 questions in first 30 minutes or 45 minutes, and that will boost our confidence. We are almost there, and that is why we should be doing this first, polity and economy. No need to do paper from 1 to 100. We should be flipping the paper, find the easiest ones in polity, economy, and even in history, geography. The easiest questions we should be finding and attempting them. Then we should be attempting the paper in at least 3 phases. In first phase, as we have discussed, polity, economy, history, geography, and other subjects also, the easy questions that we should attempt in first 45 to 60 minutes. In this same phase, we should be mark the doubtful questions also. Like we know just one statement, other one is not known, or maybe out of 1 to 3 we just know that 2 is wrong, then option is 1 only, or 1 and 3. So there is 50-50 situation. These question we should mark like this or like that or like that. I used to mark like that. A square means doubtful. Triangle means totally guesswork, something like that. So mark in a particular fashion so that you remember when you come in the second phase, you know which one is doubtful, which one is pure guess, tuka, like that. So in second phase, we should be giving attention to these doubtful ones where we are certain about one statement out of 2 or 3 statements, and then we need a little more thinking, some common reasoning, some logic, some rational judgment might end up giving us answer. And so we need 20 to 30 minutes for this portion. By that time 80-90 minutes are over. Now we need to recheck again in 5-10 minutes and fill the OMR. Whatever we have marked by now, we should be filling that in OMR. And once we are done with OMR, we'll around 100-105 minutes are passed. So we are left only with 15 to 20 minutes for last phase, the third phase. So in second phase, we have discussed that we should be doing doubtful ones. This time it may strike us, we may get the answer. By this time 80 minutes are passed. We will recheck all the answer for silly mistakes and all that in 5 minutes. Then we'll fill the OMR, and then we'll be having only 15 to 20 minutes. In the last phase, again the third phase, we'll see if some doubtful are remaining or some guesswork or something is striking us and we are feeling this is the answer. There is some instinct behind this or some memory. So all these questions we can do 5-10 questions, something like that, in the third phase. And as soon as we pick these questions and we have arrived at the answer, we'll fill at the same time. And that's it. So this is all that we had to discuss in prelims strategy. Focus on the predictable part, that is polity, economy, history, geography. Then 60 mock test papers, 15 years of PYQs for these 4 subjects, and some mistakes that we need to avoid on the exam day. If we do this thing, then we can easily clear the prelims. We should be doing science and tech, environment, current affairs, but minimal minimal as possible. We should not be wasting a lot of time in doing environment from 10 sources. Later on in other videos, I will discuss important portions from science and tech, environment, current affairs, and these subjects also, where we need to focus so that our time is not wasted in unnecessary stuff. This is our focus. This we need to do 60 mock test paper, 15 years of PYQs, and this portion we will do at a threshold level as minimum as possible, which one should do, and that will save us from unnecessary efforts and we'll be able to clear prelims smartly. So we will discuss other things like topic wise analysis of science and tech, environment, current affairs, and these four subjects later on. As of now, the general strategy is to focus on predictable parts, doing 60 mock test papers, 15 years of PYQs in these four subjects, and focusing on certain mistakes which we may do in the on the exam day, and that will make us fail in the exam. So this is all that we had to discuss as of now. Later on, we will discuss thematically also within various subjects.